Hello everyone, welcome back to another Project Gladiator weekly overlook. Today I'll be covering the weather for July 16th of 2023 until July 22nd or July 23rd of this week. And this will primarily be only weather for this week. I've already posted the daily forecast earlier today, around an hour ago, so please go check that out if you're interested in weather for today instead of weather for this week. This will primarily be weather for this week. So starting off with our 500 millibars, so we can take a look at the jet stream pattern for much of this week. You might be able to see two areas of low and high pressure already. You can see a upper ridge here and a lower trough here. You can see this ridge right here, this high pressure system in the southwest, is expected to push the jet stream in the northwest into primarily a zonal flow pattern as it dips down across the central plains in the midwest. And this low pressure system is going to cause a very weird pattern change by pushing the jet stream across Missouri, Kansas, Illinois, and the Ohio Valley. This is going to be the primary focus for severe weather development in the primary regions that we are going to see severe weather development because of this pattern change is going to be Kansas, Missouri, maybe parts of Iowa, parts of Nebraska, Illinois, maybe parts of Indiana, Kentucky, maybe parts of Arkansas, maybe parts of Oklahoma, and Tennessee as well. So that is going to be the primary region in the Midwest, the Central Plains, and the Ohio Valley across this region in particular. Again, that's going to be the main region for severe weather development for this week as that jet stream dips across the region. You see that low pressure system here is expected to give it a little bit of a change in direction, so we might be able to see the possibility of a few tornado threats this week for these regions in particular, as well as a strong mid-level flow aloft, as you can see, will allow for the possibility of maybe a few hail threats for this week as well. Keep in mind this high pressure system here in the southwest. I don't typically do this, but I will go into next week a little bit as well, because this is possibly going to be very dangerous next week regarding this high pressure system. This high pressure system is expected to propagate northeast into the Central Plains and Texas, possibly getting up into the Midwest by the following week as well. So this high pressure system is going to cause a very large increase in temperatures across the Midwest into populated areas like Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and then continuing to the Midwest as well. You can see into the following week, we do have a high pressure system that is expected to continue moving northeast across Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, and Arkansas as well. So we are going to see a very high temperature increase with this high pressure system in particular for the end of this week and into next week and the following week as well. So that's going to be a very dangerous situation, and I will definitely cover the temperature in today's forecast. I don't know when I'll cover it. It'll definitely be in today's forecast though. Taking a look at our dew points, that high pressure system in the southwest is expected to sort of push all the moisture further out east into the regions that we are expecting rounds of severe weather development for. You can see very large amounts of moisture in the region in particular. These are tropical levels of dew points, and will lead to the possibility of very strong instability with dew points like this. And with that low pressure trough moving through the region, we are definitely expecting to see the possibility of some pretty strong severe weather development and some crazy strong instability with dew points like this. So do keep that in mind going into this week. Taking a look at our instability with our dew points that we have, I'm not going to be taking a look at our lapse rates, as that is more of a daily forecast thing, not really reliable when you're looking at the weekly overlook or a large time frame, and it is much better to look at it in a daily forecast sense than a large time frame for, like, say, the weekly overlook. So I will not be covering the lapse rates in weekly overlooks from here on out, as they are not really all that accurate on the GFS models, and more so for the NAM3 kilometer CONUS models and the daily forecast. So taking a look at our instability plume with our instability, you can see with the given dew points that we have in the crazy strong amounts of dew points, you can see focusing on today, this right here, we are expected to have CAPE values that do reach the widespread upper 4,000s and the mid 4,000s and even the low 5,000s for today. However, on the GFS models, it is watering it down quite a bit to Cape values that are barely reaching the 4,000s, in the low 4,000s, maybe the mid 4,000s in central Oklahoma. So it is watering them down quite a bit. So you can expect this to be very, very strong amounts of instability. And continuing forward, like say tomorrow as well, very, very strong amounts of instability, possibly as well into the upper 4,000s as well, along the Mississippi River in Arkansas and Mississippi as well, could be expected for tomorrow as well, with extremely strong amounts of instability and how watered down the GFS models are. Tons of instability is expected in this instability plume for the majority of this week in the areas that are affected by severe weather, with the possibility of some directional shear that could be possible with that low pressure system and the small change in direction. We could definitely see the possibility of a few tornado threats with the very strong instability that is present and the change in direction, as well as strong mid-level flow aloft with very strong instability. Could allow for the possibility of some large hail threats, possibly for multiple days this week, with strong mid-level flow aloft. Again, the possibility of maybe a few tornado threats and the possibility of some large hail threats could be possible this week. Taking a look at our wind shear regarding the mid-level flow aloft, you can see focusing on the regions that we could see some strong severe weather development for much of this week. You see that we do have some fairly strong wind shear expected to be in place to allow for the possibility of some large hail. You can see right around that deepening trough here with the change in direction. You can see that we do have some speed shear in place. Some of this could be some directional shear. However, a lot of this is likely going to be mostly speed shear, as the change in direction is very subtle, but definitely going to be sufficient enough for the possibility of some weak directional shear. And again, very strong mid-level flow aloft with strong speed shear is going to allow for the possibility of elongated photographs and the possibility of some large hail on some days, as well as some medium and small hail on the majority of days. Taking a look at our temperature anomalies, I haven't covered this model really at all in any of my videos, so I will break it down to you guys so you know what you're looking for. You see in the reds here where it says like 12 or 8 or 9, that's going to be 8 degrees or 12 degrees or 13 degrees above average. And then in the blues here, that's going to be 15 degrees below average. So what you're currently looking at is above or below average temperatures for across the U.S. So taking a look at that high pressure system that is expected to move across the region into the central plains and maybe even the Midwest as well. By the end of this week and into next week and the following week as well, we are expected to have temperatures that go 23 to 20 degrees above average across the Midwest and even the Central Plains. And that is expected to increase over time and propagate northeastward and eastward as well, rising temperatures to over 100 degrees for a large portion of the U.S., and that is going to be absolutely insane. Taking a look at our temperatures, starting off with that high pressure system as it continues northeastward, you can see across Texas, we have already seen very, very high temperatures, mind-boggling temperatures. They are getting to pretty much the same amount as in Death Valley currently across a very large portion of Texas into Oklahoma and southern Kansas as well. Some of them are even reading above what Death Valley is reading, the hottest place on Earth. So these are going to be mind-boggling temperatures for a large portion of Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas. And this is only the first portion of this week as well. I think maybe even into June and May we've seen temperatures this high in Texas. However, they are going to get worse and spread across, again, a very large portion of the U.S. Taking a look at the temperature spread and the overall how high they might get with this high pressure system as it propagates northeastward. You can see into the end of this week and to the start of next week and the following week as well, we have temperatures as high as 111, 110 getting into Missouri and Kansas as well, and even up to 112 in Texas. That is going to be absolutely insane. And that is expected to continue with temperatures as high as 104 as far north as South Dakota. That's absolutely insane. That is mind-boggling for me to even see on the pivotal weather models, and I'm honestly kind of at a loss for words at these temperature, this heat dome that is expected to move through the U.S. Again, these are dangerous temperatures for the U.S. For this week, next week, and into the following week as well. So if you live in any of the areas affected by these extremely hot temperatures for this week, next week, and the following week as well, please make sure that you're taking necessary precautions for extremely hot in very intensive heat. If you're going to do anything outside this week, next week, or the following week as well, please bring a water bottle wherever you're going. You have to stay hydrated in extremely hot temperatures like this, folks. You do not want to be caught without water outside if you live in the Midwest or the Central Plains in extremely hot temperatures like this. Again, necessary precautions again, and some side effects that could be possible from extremely hot temperatures like this are heat stroke or any heat-related illnesses. Please, again, make sure you're taking necessary precautions in insane temperatures like this. Now that I've told you the weather for this week, please go down to the description and check out the socials for Project Gladiator, and join the Discord for any updates on Project Gladiator. And if you live in any of the areas that I covered for severe weather development for this week, please stay weather alert for the time being, and hopefully I will be able to see you guys tomorrow with another forecast.